Santifica tu sea tu voluntad, así en la tierra como en el cielo. Danos hoy todos nuestros panes y danos el fruto del nombre de Jesús. Santa María, Madre de Dios. Santa María, Madre de Dios.
My name's Tia. I'm your new therapist. I know you said your name was Taina.
Taina.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what brought you in today?
Well, I know I have like depression issues sometimes, but I've already been over this like hundreds of times with other people. I know I have, in the past I've had PTSD and I've had psychosis. So I've talked about all the issues I feel like I need to talk about already. A lot of people focus more on things that has happened to me in the past and all the stuff that I've already talked about, and I just don't think that that's my main issue. I don't want to revisit that really.
You're done with that?
I'm so done with that.
Okay. And you feel like you've processed everything?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is on your mind then? Like what's something that you need help with?
Well, I feel like I'm having trouble with my creative side.
Oh.
I don't know if you know, but I'm really big into art. It's like the one thing that I know, that keeps me sane, and that I just, I've always wanted to open my own gallery, and I feel like it's my only way to express myself. But I don't feel creative anymore because I think it's because of my medication. It's not really giving me the same emotions and the same stuff, that I would normally have.
So is it just the medication that's blocking, or is there something else too?
No, I think...
You think it's just the medication?
I think it's just the medication.
Okay.
So I came back from the first session with this new lady. I can't remember her name. It was hard going in, though I didn't know what to expect. So I just tried to be as neutral as possible, I guess. We didn't talk about all the other stuff that all the therapists thought were the most important. So, she talked about my art, and I guess I just still feel, lonely. These are things that I should be talking to my mom about.
Now, if I remember correctly, in our last session we were talking about you doing some art. Have you been able to do any?
I just don't know what to talk about. To draw about. So it's happening.
What are you normally drawing about?
Whatever is in my mind at the time. And right now it seems to be only one thing. But it's still not coming to me.
What do you mind talking about? What that one thing is that you?
Well, I kind of see my relationships coming to mind, and what I want in a relationship. But it's been very tricky lately because I can't see that anymore. I don't know what that is, how that even becomes a thing anymore.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a sense of what's getting in the way of envisioning what you want?
Well, I guess I see all my friends in these great relationships, and I'm kind of resentful of it. And I see it, and I want that to be me, and I question myself as to why I can't be in the relationship that I want with this girl that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mainly what it is, and when you don't have people at home who can help you through that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's like that's what family's for.
Mm. What is it that your family's doing? What? Something just happened there. Do you think that you could draw it on the whiteboard?
I don't know if I can talk to her about, the church. And that's just another thing that my family just, they feel like this is some kind of cleansing for who I am. And I don't understand that, because it's like they want me to be normal. You know, like, what am I if I'm not normal? Like, what is even normal to them? Flashbacks, the nightmares, it's always there in my head. I just don't know. I need her to help me figure out how to talk about this with my mom, and how to help her understand what I'm going through. Just to help her understand. It's all I want is that, to help her understand.
What's going on, hon?
Yeah, I can't.
You know, sometimes when you don't talk about something and you let it sit in your mind, it gets bigger and bigger and more scary. And maybe if we talk about it, we can take some of the fear out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 months ago, before I started seeing you, my mom asked me to come to church on Sunday.
Yeah. And you and your mom go to church pretty often together, yeah? Then what happened?
It started out regular, the Mass, like a regular Sunday, and then my mom said that we had to stay back to talk to the priest.
Then what happened?
And then they took me to the front row. And my dad was there. Which is weird. Because he doesn't come with us ever. And I looked at the priest, and he was different, like really, really scary, like not welcoming at all. Not the usual face you see. And before I could even say anything or ask any questions, he just started yelling, and it was very, very loud. Like he was saying things I don't understand. And then he started throwing holy water at me. I felt like I was evil or something, you know, like something was wrong with me. And I know that nothing's wrong with me.
You're a really strong person. Thank you for trusting me with that.
I didn't really want to tell you. That's only because I've talked to people about this already before, and they've just told me, you know, you just have to get out.
Well, I appreciate that you trusted me enough to tell me about what had happened. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you to walk away from your family.
She thinks I'm possessed by a demon. She thinks that everything I'm going through is something to do spiritually.
What do you think?
I don't think that. That's ridiculous, you know?
So, how can I help?
Well, I think maybe I just want you to help my mom understand some things. I want her to understand that what happened to me in my childhood, you know, that's why I struggle. But it's not her fault, and it's not my fault. But that's why I struggle.
So maybe the three of us can meet together. We can talk about what had happened, not in detail necessarily, but help her understand the way that the things happened to you in the past might impact what's happening now. Is there anything else that you would want us to talk about?
I want her to know that I do like boys, but I also like girls. And if she could understand that is also not something that you have to fix. I know she's scared because it's not something that she's used to. But I just want to be able to talk to her about the possibility of me liking a girl. And having her help me, like if I would have had a boyfriend, if she can give me advice, and I just want something from her that's not, you know.
We can totally do this. I'm not saying that it's going to be really something that's going to be quick or easy, but, you know, I think that we can work together to talk to your mom about what you're experiencing and liking girls and boys and not wanting to feel pushed away by them because they disagree with the choices that you're making. Can I ask, what was it like telling me about the nightmare? What was that like for you?
I mean, it's still very real to me. It scares me, but I think speaking about it, I feel lighter, I guess. Like I might be able to draw something or feel something again that's not just that.
Do you think that maybe you want to try drawing it now?